The Bitcoin market will be significantly impacted by two significant events that are happening tomorrow. We'll go over exactly what those occurrences are in this video, and we'll also cover a $1,000 XRP in the end. Guys, a lot of well-known people have come out and made this forecast, which has been making headlines lately. I wish to discuss that in this video, thus, be sure to stay for the entire event. As always, this channel really appreciates your support. We appreciate everyone who takes the time to subscribe to the channel and like these videos. These two easy things are a huge assistance to me. Additionally, if you know of a reliable source for purchasing XRP, be sure to check out my preferred exchange, which is listed in the video's description. However, that's diving straight in. I hope the content is enjoyable to you everyone. I want to start by discussing the first significant event that will happen tomorrow, the first ever White House cryptocurrency report. President Trump instructed all government agencies to return and develop a cryptocurrency plan earlier this year. And the results of that report will be presented to us tomorrow. The huge wild card, in my perspective, is tomorrow. What will emerge from this is unknown to us. It may be a big nothing burger where we're only starting off, or it could be something really significant where all these agencies return with strategies that are quite optimistic. Therefore, in my view, tomorrow is a complete wild card. I am unsure of what will happen, but the most crucial thing is that cryptocurrencies will once again gain public attention. We've been experiencing a slight drought, and the administration hasn't been talking much. Things have somewhat slowed off since that significant cryptocurrency conference, but it appears to be making a comeback. Furthermore, I don't think the market's increased focus will be detrimental in any way. I can't even begin to count the number of wealthy individuals who have approached me recently with the desire to invest in cryptocurrencies because they believe it to be a more reliable asset class. And more people are beginning to realize that they need to start allocating to this asset class, so that in and of itself is going to be a significant stimulus from this White House cryptocurrency study. Additionally, it will be better the more the United States supports it. In any case, gaining more favorable recognition for this asset class from well-respected individuals alone makes tomorrow a significant victory. However, we might be in possession of the wild card for something crazy. Who can predict what we will receive? On the other hand, the Federal Reserve is also making a judgment regarding interest rates. I've been complaining about excessively high interest rates for a while now. Inflation in the US has largely been at the Federal Reserve target of 2% for a year. For the past year or so, we have been trading up and down by roughly 2% in relation to the US inflation rate. Furthermore, the Federal Reserve has yet to lower rates. Now, the Federal Reserve has no justification for maintaining such high interest rates at this time. It is completely nonsensical. As you have all seen, Fed Chair Jerome Powell is definitely listening to President Trump when he complains that he isn't lowering interest rates quickly enough. At this point, the market is basically indicating that there is a 0% probability that interest rates will be lowered tomorrow. The market does not believe that Jerome Powell will change his mind. They believe he will hold off until September. I believe that the likelihood of Jerome Powell lowering interest rates tomorrow is fairly strong. I have no idea why he wouldn't. As of right moment, he has no data indicating that interest rates ought to be this high. Additionally, he is under tremendous political pressure to do so. He would only maintain high interest rates at this time, in my opinion, to get even with President Trump. At this point, President Trump has effectively publicly humiliated him for doing so. Consequently, it will be difficult to predict whether Jerome Powell will continue to maintain high interest rates despite what the data tells him. I do believe that tomorrow may bring a surprise cut. The market will be extremely positive if a surprise cut is announced. If we examine the outcomes of each previous cut by the Federal Reserve, we find that it has been quite bullish for the altcoin market in particular. Check out this chart. The cryptocurrency market has exploded each time there has been a rate cut. Thus, this enormous catalyst is merely present in the background. We are aware that these rate reductions will occur. They must arrive. For these reductions to occur, inflation must be at its proper level. The economy is performing well. The Federal Reserve has no justification for not making a cut. They haven't made any cuts because Jerome Powell dislikes Trump and wants to essentially keep rates high in order to get even with him. That won't last indefinitely. There won't be any more space for him there. He will either get fired or replaced, or he will just lower the interest rate as required by law. Consequently, interest rates are on the horizon, and when they do, the Bitcoin market will be greatly impacted. Interest rates have been extremely high at the moment, which is really detrimental to the Bitcoin sector. The market for cryptocurrencies has continued to do quite well. Consider what will occur once we truly live in a climate that supports these coins. Since so much money has been sitting on the sidelines, this industry has effectively been held back, but I think we're going to pick up a lot of steam again. All really wealthy people simply store all of their money in treasury accounts, while interest rates are high since they are earning a high yield for doing nothing. However, as soon as that yield begins to decline, they take that money and search for new investment opportunities in order to increase the return. Because of this, a risky atmosphere is produced, which is ideal for cryptocurrencies like XRP. The XRP ETF is probably on the horizon when you consider what is going on with the White House's release of the cryptocurrency report. Recently, I've heard that major institutions are practically guaranteeing that there will be an XRP ETF this summer. And match that with the conclusion of the 𝗙𝗶 case. When these rate decreases occur, it appears that XRP is being positioned to be the ideal risk-on asset for major financial institutions to invest in. Everything is going more smoothly than I could have ever dreamed, and some of that excitement is already being shown in XRP. However, I'll tell you now that I don't believe we have seen anything compared to what lies ahead. All of these catalysts are merely awaiting their release into the market. Additionally, we are among the few groups of people that are genuinely interested in these catalysts and how they will affect an asset like XRP. This is what the great majority of people are sleeping on. The great majority of people have no idea what cryptocurrencies are, much less how to predict which ones will succeed. With this, I believe we are spot on, and in my opinion, XRP is not only in a great position to become one of the top cryptocurrencies, with a significant price increase over the next 10 years, but we are also being given all the economic triggers we need to create the ideal conditions for this asset class. Tomorrow, we'll see what Jerome Powell does. There will be cuts in September if he doesn't make any tomorrow. The market is setting the price for it. He can't possibly push it out much farther. He is under a lot of pressure to lower rates. How he can go on like this for much longer is beyond me. The most crucial thing to remember, though, is that all of the data is on the side of cutbacks. Interest rates shouldn't be kept high much longer. It's just this thing that will happen. For whatever reason, they are attempting to kick the can down the road. It will not endure. We've run out of road. There will be these cuts, and the market will be extremely positive. Now that all has been said and done, what price might XRP reach after this is all over? The crew from 𝗙𝗶, one of the top apps for technical cryptocurrency teaching, was here just yesterday. This is only a photo of them from their appearance on CNBC. Additionally, they actually predicted the price of XRP on CNBC. Additionally, they predicted that the price of XRP would reach $1,000 by 2030 on CNBC. Just to prove it to you, these are not two random individuals who created an app. Both Dom and his brother Phil have a long and excellent educational history, having attended universities like Cambridge and Wharton, and had positions at Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and Blackstone. These two aren't Joe Schmoes. These two incredibly smart individuals predict that by 2030, XRP will have increased to $203 to $1,000,